You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson in Office, Foreign Minister Rao. Distinguished President Duda, Madam Secretary General Smith, distinguished ministers and ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by warmly thanking you, Mr. Chair, for hosting the Ministerial Council in your hometown. Last year, I had the pleasure of addressing you from my constituency in Stockholm. It is a unique feeling to be able to connect what brings us together today, the OSCE, with those who brought us in this room, our citizens. For several years now, the Parliamentary Assembly has worked closely with successive chairpersonships to refocus our attention on those for which the OSCE truly matters, the 1 billion people living in the region. They are the first victims of military aggressions. They are the ones whose livelihoods are threatened by high energy prices and inflation caused by Russia's illegitimate war against Ukraine. But they are also threatened by climate changes. And they are the ones whose daily lives are limited by the failure to enable a free and independent media, a vibrant civil society, and strong democratic institutions. But here, as in every city and village in Poland, we see international solidarity at work. We see genuine brotherhood, Poles volunteering to support Ukraine and its refugees, Ukrainians giving a new temporary home and the freedom to work and support their families and loved ones. Together, two people standing up to unprovoked and unjustified military aggression, convinced that soon enough, Ukraine will be again a whole and free country. I hope that during your limited time here in Poland, you will feel the warmth of the human spirit, dear ministers. It must inspire us all to further strengthen our support for Ukraine's independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity within its internationally recognized borders. It must compel us to remain firm with the Russian Federation and not accept their aggression. Not at all. We must safeguard our European security order, the Helsinki Final Act. OSCE PA met last week in Warsaw. It sent me here with a clear message. This OSCE Ministerial Council must recognize the Russian Federation as having committed gross and still uncorrected violation of the Helsinki Final Act. On this basis, the OSCE must disregard any dissent by the Russian Federation when it comes to decision related to Ukraine. A tribunal must be initiated to investigate and prosecute all those responsible for Russian war crimes in Ukraine. And we parliamentarians, we cannot tolerate impunity. We stand firmly side by side with Ukraine. Just as well, I know that you do also here in OSCE Ministerial Council. This OSCE Ministerial Council should take steps to establish a high-level body to examine the damage inflicted by the Russian Federation on Ukraine and to assess the reparations that Russia should be accountable for. Russia started the war, and they have to pay for it. Your Excellencies, if Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov had been present today, he would have seen our unity in condemnation of his country's unjustifiable actions in Ukraine. 1 year after declaring the eastward expansion of NATO as a threat to Russia's territory, he would have been held accountable for Moscow's attempted westward expansion at the expense of Ukraine. Looking back, what a difference a year makes. In Stockholm, we were walking on the brink of the precipice, and in spite of all international efforts to take a step back, we have taken the plunge. This war has already claimed tens of thousands of lives. And I must say, it's enough. It's enough now. The war has to come to an end. But how far will this situation go on? How much damage can the OSCE take before it crumbles? The current situation threatens to further accelerate a disintegration which has been years in the making. This has crippled the OSCE ability to deliver. But I must say, I am very pleased for all the actions taken by the Polish chairpersonship, not letting OSCE be stopped, continued their effort for the people living inside OSCE, and also for all the activities taken by Secretary General Helga Schmidt. This shows true courage. This shows the dedication for OSCE principles. With no consensus among the 57 participating states, where will we find ourselves in the future? And 2 years from now, will the 50th anniversary of the Helsinki Final Act also be an end? No, I don't believe so. I see the future, and I can see the commitment here among your ministers and ambassadors. Let's work forward for a strong OSCE. Ministers, as we can disagree around the table, I am convinced that no one wishes for the end of the OSCE. After all, among all the multilateral tools at your disposal, it is the one with the best value for money to build long-lasting peace and stability. So now, it's the time to support the OSCE, to fully support OSCE. It's time to agree on its modest budget for the years to come. It's the time to find ways forward and not letting one country destroy OSCE and the European security order. So now it's time to ensure that OSCE and its institutions can continue to operate efficiently through trusted and proven leadership. And now is the time to protect the work and the staff of the OSCE in the field. From climate change to migration, from energy security to countering terrorism, from strengthening democratic institutions and the rule of law, to combating corruption. There are endless of challenges requiring deeper cooperation between the countries inside OSCE region. As host to a field operation for 30 years, North Macedonia is best equipped to understand the true value of OSCE. And when I have met with the Foreign Minister of North Macedonia, I have seen his eagerness to take over the chairpersonship of OSCE, and I do really look forward to North Macedonia's chairpersonship for next year. North Macedonia, I'm sure you know the genuine and the inclusive dialogue based on respect for shared principles is essential to the progress towards the implementation of our OSCE commitments. And North Macedonia, you are very well aware that positive engagement with the OSCE offers a blueprint to better lives for all the citizens inside the OSCE region. I and my fellow parliamentarians look forward to working with you to protect and promote the work of the OSCE. The tools are there. And now, ministers, it's up to you to make sure that the tools are used so that together we can continue advancing comprehensive security in OSCE region. The 1 billion citizens count on you. And finally, I would like to thank Chairperson in Office, Foreign Minister Rao, and Secretary General Ms. Helga Smith for their excellent cooperation and leadership. I would also like to thank you all on behalf of OSCE Parliamentary Assembly to all the staff deployed all over the OSCE region for your commitment, and I wish you all the best for the future. Thank you very much.
I thank Her Excellency